Welcome back. Over the last month, we've been breaking down the ins and outs of Facebook and Instagram ads for musicians as part of our Social Marketing 101 for Artists series. Click this link if you want to catch up on everything. And click this link if you'd like to enter our contest for our 2nd anniversary, which is going on right now. Now for this series, we've been mainly talking about proper targeting in the Facebook and Instagram ads platform, from targeting people who have never even heard of you, but are likely to be a fan using psychographic interest targeting, to targeting people who have already heard of you using custom audiences. But aside from those cold interest-based audiences and those warm custom audiences, there is a way to use your warm audience data to find more of the exact right people, which means that if you already have a little bit of a fan base going, you may never have to use cold interest-based targeting again. That's because Facebook provides a feature that allows you to create huge audiences full of people who are exactly like your existing fan base, and that feature is called Lookalike Audiences. And you guessed it, that's what we're going over in today's Tiny 2. So let's roll that intro and get into it. As I said, we've already gone over cold psychographic targeting for people who have never heard of you in this video. And we've already gone over targeting your existing fans and listeners using custom audiences. Now it's time to use your existing fan data to make every ad campaign in your ad account perform up to 3 times as well as before using lookalike audiences. If you don't know what they are, lookalike audiences are cold audiences, people who haven't interacted with your brand before, who share most of the characteristics of your existing fans. Here's how they work. First, you start with a warm custom audience. This can be any custom audience, from people who have watched specific lengths of your videos to people who have visited your website to your email subscribers. There's a lot of different options there. Lookalike audiences share characteristics with the custom audience that you start with, which we call the seed audience. The seed audience data determines what characteristics your lookalike audience will have. So if your seed audience is made up of people who have watched 50% of your video, then your lookalike audience will be most likely made up of people who are very likely to watch your videos. When you create a lookalike audience, Facebook analyzes your seed audience to find characteristics that are common among all of them. Let's say, for example, that you're using a custom audience of your email subscribers. Now, let's say a majority of your email subscribers are females aged 24 to 35, and they all live on the East Coast. And let's say a majority of them share dirt biking, mountain climbing, and jazz as an interest. When you create your lookalike audience, Facebook will take note of those common characteristics and create this profile of what your ideal audience member is like. Next, you select the countries you want your lookalike audience to be comprised of. So if you choose Canada, everyone in your lookalike audience will be from Canada. You can choose one country, a few of them, or all of them, but we don't recommend using all of them. Next, Facebook will rank the entire population of the countries you chose in order of most like your seed audience, 24 to 35-year-old East Coast females who are into dirt biking, mountain climbing, and jazz, to those who are least like your seed audience. So at the very bottom, it's probably males aged 55 to 65 who like heavy metal and knitting. Those guys won't be anywhere near the top of the list because your seed audience is nothing like them. Lastly, you choose a percentage of the population of the countries you selected that you want your lookalike audience to target. So if you choose 1%, your lookalike audience will be that 1% of Canadians that are most like that email subscriber list. While not all of them will be female, not all of them will be 24 to 35, and not all of them will share the same interests, a majority of them will have one or more of these characteristics. So you may have a few male audience members in there, or a few audience members who aren't into dirt biking or mountain climbing exactly, but they are interested in adventure sports. But in general, Facebook's gonna find you the people who are most like your seed audience. Now, if you choose 10% of the Canadian population, you'll get the 10% that is most like your email subscribers. But since the order is ranked from most to least like that seed audience, you're gonna get a bit less exact with who you're targeting as you go higher in percentage. So you'll get a bigger audience, but they'll be a little less like your email subscribers than if you had chose the top 1%. Marketing analysts typically call this gradual blurring of the targeting as you go bigger, fuzziness, as in a 10% lookalike is fuzzier than a 1% lookalike. The fuzzier the data, the less likely it will be to perform well, but that doesn't mean you can't use 10% lookalikes. It's just something you gotta be aware of. So how do you use lookalike audiences to your advantage? Well, really depends on the goal. If you wanna run a campaign to get more email subscribers from people who have never heard of you before, you'll probably wanna have your email subscribers be the seed audience that you create your lookalike from. The closer your seed audience is to the target objective for your ad campaign, the better. Not all lookalike audiences perform as well for different objectives. And this is probably a good time to talk about an order of operations when it comes to marketing, specifically with Facebook and Instagram ads. In a previous video, we talked about the spectrum of cold to warm, or top, middle, and bottom of funnel. People who are completely cold have never heard of you before, and people who are as warm as possible have completed pretty much every action they could when it comes to your online presence. So the warmest audience members have been to your website, watched your videos, they've probably purchased some products, signed up for your email list, they've done everything. That's hot, that's super warm. That's as warm as you can get. Cold audiences get top of funnel content and marketing campaigns, meaning you just wanna break the ice with them. They aren't really ready for a sales offer yet, and maybe not even to sign up to your email list. First, they gotta get to know you. Now, conversely, warm audiences probably don't need any more top of funnel content or campaigns. They need middle or bottom of funnel campaigns, like sales offers, free giveaways for email subscription, more committed actions like that. So when it comes to the listener, the customer, or the fan journey, there's an order of operations. You have your top of funnel, colder audience metrics like watch some of your content, engage with a post. These are top of funnel actions. Go a little bit further in warmth and you have audiences like page visitors, page likes, Instagram followers. Go a little bit further and you've got website visitors and people who have messaged your Facebook page or DM'd you on Instagram. Go a little bit further and you've got email subscribers and email subscribers that open and click. Go a little bit further and you've got customers, people who've purchased something. Then you have repeat or multiple purchase customers. Then you have customers with the highest lifetime value. Then you have customers with a high lifetime value who regularly refer you to other people or even affiliates. There's a spectrum of warmth, and I say all that to say that if you create a lookalike audience off of your page likes or Instagram followers, but you're trying to get them to buy a product in your ad, it's not gonna work out so well. You should use lookalikes to generate more of the conversion type that you created the lookalike from. As I've stated in a previous video, lookalike audiences almost always outperform interest-based audiences, which makes them very powerful assets for every ad account that we work with. Building your own custom and lookalike audiences is the clear sign of a seasoned ad account, one that has a lot of data going for it and will typically do better in the ad platform overall. Your goal is to season your ad account by generating custom audiences that are meaningful, then spinning off lookalike audiences to drive your ad costs down in creating those custom audiences. One last tip I'll say is that you don't want to create a lookalike audience until you have at least 1,000 people in the seed audience. So if you take a 100-person email list and try to create a lookalike off of it, it's not going to perform so well because it's not enough data for Facebook to figure out who you're actually looking for. And I'll say that lookalike audiences are cold. They've never heard of you before. So even if you have a lookalike that's created off of customer data, they're still probably not just going to buy something off of an ad. You still need to walk them down that customer journey, but if you have a lookalike audience that's created off of customer data, the rate at which your advertised audiences become customers will start to climb. So you still need to walk them down the path, but they'll probably get there quicker and more often. Now, I know these topics can be pretty complex, but I found that if you can get excited about them and how you're gonna put them to good use, they get a lot easier with practice. I know when I first got into digital marketing, I was like head over heels excited to try this stuff out on music, and that excitement drove me through all the confusion. Maybe I didn't know every setting. Maybe I didn't remember every lesson that I had learned up until that point, but I was excited to do it, so I was willing to stumble through any mistakes that I would make. So what are you going to do in the next week with this info? How can you start using your data to your advantage? What top of funnel audiences do you already have at your disposal? If you've got page likes, email subscribers, Instagram followers, or lots of views on a given Instagram or Facebook video, then you've got the right ingredients for a lookalike audience that you can start showing your top of funnel content to. Music videos, performance videos, any videos you created for a vlog, doesn't matter. You can start turning on the right people to your content immediately. So if you've got plans for how you're gonna use this info, let me know in the comments and we'll get into it. With that said, please make sure to like this video if it was helpful, subscribe and ring the bell if you want more help like this 3 times a week. I've been Circa for Full Stack Creative. This has been Tiny Toots, and I'll see all of you in the next Tiny Toot.